Let me give you the one of the lessons that I learned when it comes to time management and being productive that changed my whole life. It changed my entire life. It's a secret, and it's going to make some of you crazy to even think about, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I've been mentored by 2 different billionaires in my life, and these billionaires, the first one had 30-some companies. He was worth about $3 billion. He always seemed to have a lot of time. He was never really stressed out. He was active in his community, doing all this stuff. And I asked him finally, I said, how do you manage all this? Because I'm frantic. I don't have enough time for anything. I'm stressed out like crazy. He said, well, this was when I was in my late 20s. He said, how much money do you want to make? He said, because there's unlimited money. Which is a strange concept to hear. I said, well, because I'd always heard, set a goal to make $1 million a year, be a millionaire. All right, $1 million a year. He said, how much, if you break that down by hour, Eric, that's about $500 an hour. $500 an hour, approximately, for a full-time job equals $1 million a year. He said, Eric, is there a task that you can do that pays $500 an hour or more? And in network marketing, guess what? There is. If you're in front of a prospect, count up the total number of hours that you've been in front of prospects. I promise you, you've been paid more than $500 an hour for that, or will be paid more than $500 an hour as a result of those hours that you're spending in front of a prospect. So I'm like, well, yeah, there is. He said, here's the secret. Secret number 1, anything that you're currently doing that is worth less than $500 an hour, have someone else do. I'm like, what? He said, Eric, do you mow the lawn? I said, yeah, I mow the lawn. He said, how much would it cost to hire somebody to mow the lawn? I said, I don't know, $15 an hour. He said, every hour you are mowing the lawn, you are losing $485. What? I lose $485 for mowing the lawn? That's a reframe. So for some of you doing the laundry, you're losing $500 an hour to do the laundry. You're losing $500 an hour to go get the groceries. You're losing $500 an hour to do household chores. You're losing $500. I was blown away by this idea. He said, literally, anything that could be done by somebody else. I'm not talking about raising your children. I'm not talking about tucking your kids in. But anything that could be done by somebody else that's less than $500 an hour, let them do it. Have somebody else do it. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is you have to make sure that that hour is replaced with you being in front of a prospect. You can't just sit on the couch, have somebody else mow the lawn, and not be in front of the prospect. Okay, I'll make that trade. Every hour I have somebody do that, then I'll be in front of a prospect. And he said, step 3 is work as hard as you can to maximize the number of hours that you're doing $500 an hour plus activity. That's step 3. Work to maximize those hours, not just the hours you're having other people do other things. And I will tell you, in that year, I've never mown the lawn again. I don't shovel the driveway if it snows. I don't have the leaf blower taking care of stuff. I don't set up the holiday lights. I don't do any of those things. I have a complete support system designed to do all of those things. I don't put gas in the car. I don't. I don't stop at the gas station. The car's always full. Different mindset, right? I make sure that I'm operating at peak potential. And I was like, wow. So you want to have a trick to be able to totally change your life? Get focused on the high activities and then clear the decks of all the other nonsense. Think of the stuff that gives you a sense of identity, and maybe that's not the identity that you're meant to live. Maybe you're not the permanent chauffeur for the world. Maybe you're not the permanent go to the grocery store and get the groceries. Maybe you can hire somebody to cook your meals for you. If you go backstage, guess what? Our chef has already prepared all the meals for the weekend. They're sitting back there ready to go. Done. I don't even think about it. So, guess when I started doing that? When I didn't have the money. Not because I have the money now, but when I didn't have the money. And you could start the same thing. You gotta decide, is this part of my identity to do all of these chores, all of these things? Or is it part of my identity to be a gift to the world and have a support system helping me do the rest? Some of you prepare your own taxes. Get a professional, for crying out loud. Some of you paying your own bills. I haven't written a check in years. In years. I don't pay the bills. I have so much psychic damage from earlier parts of my life when I was behind on my bills and stuff that even seeing the mail gives me stress. So I never even see the bills. They're all just taken care of. I get a report at the end of the month. It's handled. Get the best in the world to help you do your stuff so you can be the gift that you need to be to the world.